Hello and a very warm welcome back to our complete IELTS reading series. In our earlier videos, especially back in video 4, we introduced the importance of finding keywords from the question in the reading passage. That is a great starting point, but today, in our 10th video, we are going to build on that foundation. We are going to dive deep into what is, without a doubt, the single most important skill you need for a high score in IELTS reading. It is the skill that separates students who get a good score from students who get a great score. We are going to talk about understanding vocabulary in context. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had this experience? You read a question, you find the keywords, and then you search and search and search for those exact words in the passage, but you can't find them anywhere. You start to panic. You think the answer must be here, but where is it hiding? If this has happened to you, I want you to know that it is not your fault. It happened because the IELTS test is designed that way. The IELTS test is not a simple word matching game. It is a test of your ability to understand meaning. So in this very important lesson, we are going to master the art of understanding meaning. We are going to learn about synonyms, the magic of paraphrasing, and a secret weapon that will make you a faster reader called collocations. By the end of this video, you will be able to see the answers that are hiding in plain sight.
Let's get straight to the most important point of the entire IELTS reading test. The test is built on one central idea: paraphrasing. What is paraphrasing? It is a simple but powerful concept. Paraphrasing means saying the same thing using different words. It's about expressing the same idea but with a different vocabulary and a different sentence structure. Look at this perfect example on the screen. Let's imagine this is a true, false, not given question. The statement in the question says, "There was a sudden increase in the global demand for renewable energy." Your job is to find if this information is in the passage. You might scan the passage looking for the words sudden increase and global demand, but you probably will not find them. Instead, the passage might say something like this: "Around the world, the appetite for sustainable power sources grew rapidly."
Let's break this down like detectives. The question says sudden increase. The passage says something grew rapidly. Do these have the same meaning? Yes, grew rapidly is a perfect synonym for sudden increase. The question says global demand. The passage says around the world, which means global, and the appetite for something, which means the desire or demand for something. Do these have the same meaning? Yes, they do. This is the secret code of IELTS. The question and the passage will almost always talk about the same ideas, but they will use different language to do it. If you are only looking for the exact words from the question, you will miss the answer. You will think the information is not given. But if you can learn to look for the meaning and understand paraphrasing, you can find the answer every time. This skill is vital for every single question type. True, false, multiple choice, matching tasks, everything depends on it.
Okay, so we know that we need to find paraphrases, but how do we get better at spotting them? How do the IELTS test writers create these paraphrases? Well, they usually use 3 common techniques. If you can learn to recognize these 3 techniques, you will become a paraphrasing expert. Technique number 1 is the most common, using synonyms. This is a simple word swap. The writer takes a word from the original idea and replaces it with another word that has a similar meaning. Technique number 2 is a little more clever, changing the word form. This means using a different word from the same word family. For example, the writer might change a verb, an action word, into a noun, a thing, or an idea. And technique number 3 is about grammar, changing the sentence structure. This often means flipping the sentence around, usually by changing it from the active voice to the passive voice. Let's look at some clear examples of these 3 techniques in action. This will make it much easier to understand.
Let's look at technique 1, synonyms.
The original sentence might say, "The consequences of the policy were significant." In the passage, you might find a sentence that says, "The ramifications of the policy were important." Here, consequences has been swapped for its synonym, ramifications, and significant has been swapped for its synonym, important. The meaning is exactly the same, but the words are different. To spot this, you need to build your vocabulary of academic synonyms. Now let's look at technique 2, changing word form. The question might use the verb to investigate, like in the sentence, "Researchers must investigate the causes." But in the passage, you might see the noun form, an investigation, used in the sentence like, "A thorough investigation of the causes is required." The root word investigate is the same, but the form of the word is different. Be on the lookout for words that come from the same family. Finally, let's look at technique 3, changing sentence structure. This often involves changing from the active voice to the passive voice. The active voice sentence is, "The company developed a new strategy." The company is doing the action. The passive voice sentence flips this around. A new strategy was developed by the company. Now the strategy is the focus of the sentence. The meaning is identical, but the structure is different. Recognizing this is key to matching ideas across the text.
Okay, now I want to share a very powerful tool with you. This is a tool that can dramatically increase your reading speed and your understanding of academic texts. This secret weapon is called Collocations. What are collocations? The word sounds complicated, but the idea is very simple. Collocations are words that just go together naturally in English. They are like word partnerships or best friends who are always seen together. For example, in English, when we talk about a lot of rain, we say heavy rain. We don't usually say strong rain or big rain. Heavy and rain is a natural partnership. Another example, we say make a mistake. We don't say do a mistake. Make and mistake is a collocation. These word partnerships exist in everyday English, and they also exist in academic English. Learning the most common academic collocations is a huge advantage for the IELTS test.
Here are 8 very common and very useful academic collocations that you will see again and again in the IELTS reading test. I want you to add these to your vocabulary notebook. For example, the verb conduct is almost always followed by research, an experiment, or a study. The verb phrase play a role is often used with adjectives like crucial, significant, or vital. So why is learning these word partnerships so helpful? They help you in 2 amazing ways. First, they help you to read faster. When you are reading a sentence and you see the word conduct, your brain automatically expects to see the word research or study soon after. You start to read in chunks of meaning instead of reading word by word by word. This dramatically increases your speed. Second, they act as bigger, stronger keywords. When you are looking for information, instead of just scanning for the single word role, you can scan for the entire chunk, play a significant role. It's easier to spot a group of 3 words than just one. Learning collocations is one of the best things you can do to improve your reading.
Okay, enough talk from me. It's time for you to put your skills into practice. Let's start with a quick and easy exercise to warm up your brain. On the screen, you can see 4 words in column A and 4 synonyms in column B. Your job is to match them up. Pause the video now, take a moment to think, and I will show you the answers in a few seconds. All right, let's check your work. How did you do? Number 1, fundamental, means something that is very basic and important. Its synonym is essential. Number 2,
The consequence of an action is its end effect. Its synonym is A, result. Number 3, to innovate means to make something new. Its synonym is D, create new things. And number 4, to assess something is to judge its quality or value. Its synonym is B, evaluate. If you got these right, fantastic! You are on your way to becoming a synonym master.
Now for a more exam-like challenge. This is where we need to be very careful, detectives. For each pair of sentences on the screen, I want you to decide if the question sentence is an accurate paraphrase of the passage sentence. Does it mean exactly the same thing? Or is there a small change in meaning? Pause the video, read them carefully, and decide, yes, they have the same meaning, or no, the meaning is different.
Let's review the answers. This is a very important exercise. Pair 1 is a yes. The two sentences do have the same meaning. In the passage, we have primary cause. In the question, this is paraphrased as mainly due to. These have the same meaning. In the passage, we have industrial pollution. In the question, this is paraphrased with a more specific example, pollution from factories. This is a fair and accurate paraphrase. The core meaning is a perfect match. Now, pair 2 is a no, and I really want you to understand why. This is a classic IELTS trap that catches so many students. The passage says the technology faces financial hurdles. A hurdle is a challenge or a difficulty. It means it is difficult, but not necessarily impossible. The question, however, makes a much stronger statement. It says the technology cannot be used. This changes the meaning from difficult to impossible. This is not an accurate paraphrase. It exaggerates the information. You must always be very careful with these small but important changes in meaning.
So, to summarize our very important lesson today, I want you to leave this video with a new way of thinking about the IELTS reading test. First, your new mantra, your new core belief should be this: think in meanings, not in words. Stop being a word hunter and start being an idea hunter. IELTS tests your understanding of ideas, not just your ability to find specific words. Second, become an expert at spotting the 3 main paraphrasing techniques. When you are practicing, always look for synonyms, different word forms, and changes in sentence structure. Third, start learning academic collocations. They are your secret weapon. These natural word partnerships will make you a faster, more confident, and more effective reader. And finally, you must practice actively. It's not enough to just know these ideas, you have to use them. Every time you do an IELTS practice test, or even just read a news article in English, I want you to actively look for paraphrases. Ask yourself, how else could the writer say this? The more you practice this skill, the easier and faster the entire IELTS reading test will become.
Thank you so much for joining me for this crucial lesson. This skill of understanding paraphrasing is the key that unlocks the entire test. In our next video, we'll apply these powerful vocabulary skills to another common question type: summary completion. If you found this guide helpful and you feel more confident about your reading skills, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us to reach and help more students just like you. Keep up your amazing work, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.